Good morning, my dear friends. Now I am referring to you amendments applicable for our CA Inter September 25 examination. Paper number 3, section B, namely called as Goods and Services Tax. These amendments I am referring by taking into account supplementary issued by the CA Institute for the September 25 examination of CA Inter. These amendments with effect from 1st November 2024 to 28th February 2025 amendments I am going to cover. Here, if you refer the first and foremost, from the Institute material I am referring, charging section, where the forward charge, supplier liable to pay GST, reverse charge, recipient liable to pay GST. Now, under the reverse charge, supply of goods, reverse charge not in the syllabus, you are aware of it. Supply of services, reverse charge, notified services we have, which is under the reverse charge. Where in the reverse charge category, my dear, there is 2 amendments taken place now here. You are aware of that. Sponsorship services, which is taxable services, prior to this amendment, prior to from 16th January 2025, sponsorship services supplier, any person, the recipient must be a body corporate or a partnership firm or a LLP which is registered in the taxability, if so, under RCM. This has been slightly modified. Supplier, hitherto any person, from 16 January 2025 onwards, that any person should be other than a body corporate. Meaning thereby, the supplier of sponsorship services should not be a private limited company, should not be a limited company. If that is the case, condition 1 satisfied. Tell me what is the condition? Sponsorship services supplier should be any person other than body corporate. Condition number 1. Condition number 2. The recipient should be a body corporate or a partnership firm. Firm includes limited liability partnership firm located in the taxability. The nature of supply, condition number 3, sponsorship services. The result is RCM. Simple. Got it or not? Condition number 1, tell me. Supplier should be any person other than body corporate. Condition number 2, recipient any person, body corporate or partnership firm. Any person means body corporate or partnership firm. The nature of supply, sponsorship services, taxable nature. Is clear? Result is RCM. Who liable to pay? Recipient liable to pay. Can we have a problem on it now? A problem on it. A simplified problem. Sponsorship services. I told already to you people, you know that my presentation without numeric example not going to go. Therefore, my humble request to all of you, what you must have to have a calculator, at least with you. You should have to have a calculator, must be. I have to understand. You can enjoy the class. Open, I am telling you. Yes. நீங்க எடுத்து வந்துருங்க, அதுக்குள்ள நம்ம ப்ராப்ளம் போட்டு முடிச்சிருவோம். We are not going to wait. The problem in front of you here is visible, Raja? I think visible to all of you. Am I right? By the time of completion of my reading, I want the answer from you. Yes, it's a revision class with amendments. Supplier, Mr. Rajiv, individual, proprietor, unregistered person. Recipient, Janat Innovation Private Limited company, which is a body corporate, registered with GST under GST Delhi. Nature of service, sponsorship of corporate sports event. Agreement, date of agreement, 20th January 2025. Sponsorship amount 5 lakhs. Applicable rate of GST 18%. Now, you tell me, taxable or exempted? Taxable. Forward charge or reverse charge? Why forward charge? Forward or reverse charge? Huh? Why forward charge? Sulma, Sulraja. Huh? Is individual other than body corporate only? Individual other than body corporate only? Yes or no? Individual other than body corporate. Supplier yarma? Any person? பாத்தீங்களா தியரி சொல்லும் போது அழகா புரிஞ்சிச்சு ப்ராப்ளம் வந்து நான் கட் கோட் விட்டுறோம் அதுதான் ப்ராப்ளம் theory and problem gap is there. You have to bridge the gap, fill the gap. You are the master. No doubt about that. You got the clarity, brother? You have to speak out. Tappana paravale. Na etikire. Single mistake should not come in the exam hall. Is the spirit, is the motto. You fight with me, no problem. Ange ukaridi pesano. Ingora kudave. But you have to get clarified. So point number 1 clear? Sponsorship services with effect from 16th January 2025. What amendment taken place means supplier earlier any person was there. Now that any person should be other than body corporate means supplier should not be a body corporate. Condition number 1. Condition number 2. The recipient should be a body corporate if not a partnership firm in India. Condition number 3, sponsorship services taxable nature irukonu. Taxable nature. Charging of tax. RCM, FCM. In that case, RCM. Correct? The condition satisfied here. In the given case, my dear, satisfied or not, you tell me. Supplier, Rajiv. I can say that other than body corporate. Other than body corporate. Recipient, body corporate. Registered person in India, Delhi, our state, India capital, Delhi, registered person. Is clear, brother? Nature of supply, sponsorship services, taxable nature, corporate event. Sporting event, there are certain sporting specified only exempted. If exempted, no charge, no FCM, no RCM. Charge will come only when there is a no exemption. So exempted, no exemption, taxable. RCM or FCM is RCM. What is the percentage is there? On what value? Is equal to how much? Is liable to pay by dash. Under RCM by whom? To whom? To government. To government. Yes, tax are cutting. Government yaar katno? Recipient has to pay from his pocket. Is clear? Answer is here. 5 lakh 90. Here is GST 90,000. Who has to pay to whom means? See here. A recipient has to pay tax. And since the supplier is not a body corporate, the recipient liable to pay GST. The recipient is a body corporate, is liable to pay GST under RCM. Got the clarity, brother? Last point, last person. Sir, when there's the amendments comes, especially indirect tax laws, final, those amendments are hot cake in the exam. Old provisions never going to ask. For a couple of years before, 1 or 2 years before, our institute president said, indirect tax is considered amendments are prone to the exam. Favorite in the examination, amendments. Old provision won't come in the exam at all. Taken to granted. Now, point number 2 from our institute material. Is institute material only. Soft copy I am showing. One more amendment. Here, very powerful, romba powerful. Services by of renting of any immovable property other than residential dwelling. Now I am asking to my fellow students, tell me, if the supply of services of residential dwelling for residential purposes to unregistered person, taxable or exempt? Exempt, excellent. Here's the answer. Exempted. Residential dwelling for residential purposes to unregistered person. The recipient is registered person. Then exempted. Exemptions we have discussed in the class also. Is clear? Now, listen. Residential dwelling. Supplier may be registered given to a registered person for residential purposes. Taxable or exempt? Taxable. RCM or FCM? RCM. Let's go residential property. Is clear? Coming to commercial property. This is an amendment already taken place. That is already there in the up to 30th of October 2024 amendments it is there. Commercial property. Which property? Any immovable property. Any immovable property given on rental basis by a unregistered person to a registered person. Being a recipient registered person, liable to pay GST under RCM is the provision. This also be amended provision which is there already in the earlier amendments. What is the amendment I referred to you? Before this amendment, renting of any immovable property which is commercial nature other than residential dwelling. Supplier is an unregistered person given on rental basis to recipient. Who is the recipient? A registered person. Then sufficient. Registered person, you pay the GST under RCM. Is clear, Amma? Now, assume a scenario. Mr. Rafi, owner of one particular shop at Mount Road. The shop, 10 by 10 square feet shop, 100 square feet shop. You qualified as a CA. As a chartered accountant, you want to practice. Searching for the want of office. You came to know my number. You called me over. Rafi sir, can I get your premises on rental basis because I want to start the profession. I got COP now. I'm very happy. Definitely I will give, sir. Monthly rent, 1 lakh rupee only. You said, so lesser amount of charging, no problem, sir. Please give on rental basis. I give it a rental basis. Mr. Rafi is an unregistered person, freelancer. Turnover not exceed 20 lakhs for me. I'm a very small guy. So, unregistered person. He is the owner of the immovable property. What type of property it is? A commercial property. That commercial property given to a practicing CA who just now started. Now you tell me, just now you started means your previous year turnover 0 only. As a result, for you at the initial stage, as a starting up company, you can choose composition scheme. You are beneficiary or not? As a result, using your tax planning, you got registered under GST law as a composition taxpayer. Is clear? Composition taxpayer means what? The taxpayer is not having a taxable turnover and the total turnover not exceeding 50 lakhs for a profession. Service na. I understand. For restaurant, trader, manufacturer, 1.5 crore. For few states, 75 lakhs. You know, Manipur, Mizoram, Nagaland, Tripura, that and this. Yeah, 75 lakhs. Now as a practicing CA, your turnover previous year 0, brother. Therefore, you are opted composition scheme. You got registered not? You being a practicing CA, registered person GST law. Is clear? Now, what is happen here? Supplier is uninsured person. Nature of supply, renting of immovable property for commercial purposes. Recipient is recipient registered. You registered no. You are recipient no. You are qualified CA. You got registered. You are a registered person. But you got registered in what category? Compound scheme. You liable to pay CGST, SGST 9% and 9% or dash and dash. If there is a stick, I will put myself like that. அப்படியா நான் சொன்னேன். Like that I told you. Service provider 3% CGST, 3% SGST, the total turnover which includes taxable as well as exempted marka kudade exam like kuduka maten. You should not forget it. Exam is kuduka matanga avangal. Exam is not going to give. Exam clearly said we provide all rate of GST in the examination normal rate except composition rate nu sollirukan. For a service provider baba, CGST, SGST for a composition taxpayer other than restaurant nature is what rate? 3% CGST, 3% SGST. Effectively paying 6% amma. Instead of paying 18%. That means you are saver of 12%. That's why you got after the composition scheme. Nothing is wrong. You are eligible. Is clear? Is a background noise. What I referred now. Now what is the content is there? Here content. The content what is there? The content here containing, if Mr. Rafi, owner of commercial property, immovable property, being an uninsured person, given on rent to a registered person, who liable to pay GST? Under the RCM, recipient liable to pay GST. Is a new provision. Is clear? This provision has been brought into force from which date onwards? Means, listen all of you, it is not the what we can call here from 16 January 2025. It is before that, October 2024 itself it has been brought into force. I will show you right now to you by finding out this point here. Residential dwelling இங்க பாருப்பா. This amendment any immovable property இங்க பாருங்க, from 10th October 2024, from 10th October 2024, any immovable property other than residential dwelling given by uninsured person to a registered person, who liable to pay GST? Recipient liable to pay GST. Is clear? Now, so far what I explained to you with regard to this immovable property and RCM is a background study. Now, in our example, I am a owner of the property. supplier Rafi, unlisted person, own the property given on rental basis to practicing CA, who is the registered person. Now, from this 10th October 2024, who liable to pay GST? Who liable to pay GST? Recipient. In our given example, who is the recipient? Practicing CA. Who opted the composition scheme? Ipo, CA asking, hey government, you only told me to go for composition scheme. By choosing the composition scheme, I am a loser of very big important benefit of that dash. I am a loser of dash. ITC, excellent. ITC, I am a loser of ITC. I opted the benefit. Okay, pona ITC. Not required ITC for me. Therefore, I chosen what? Composition scheme. To pay 3% GST. Now, by showing this provision, you are asking me to pay GST under RCM 18%. CGST, HST 9% each. What the benefit you given to me? You get my point. I am talking about logical approach. Unregistered person being owner of real property given for commercial purposes to a particular registered person. The registered person here is being a recipient opted what? Composition scheme. Just because of registered person, the recipient liable to pay GST. Then what benefit you extending for composition taxpayer? You get my point, sir? Government said, yes, Mr. Recipient, your point is valid, has some reason. So, I will put a small amendment here. From 16th January 2025 onwards, what I will do, any more property other than residential property given by unregistered person to a registered person, the registered person recipient should be other than composition taxpayer. Up and down, you are a composition taxpayer, registered person, but you are not come under the RCM. So you are happy or not now? Is the amendment. Okay. So far, so good. This amendment came when? Actually from 10th October 2024. What is there inside? 10th October 2024 is there in this hand. From this date till the date of 16th January 2025, amendment not there. Which amendment? Just now refer no, with effect from 16th January 2025. This side 16th January 2025. From that date onwards, from this date onwards, the recipient should be a registered person other than composition taxpayer. Then only RCM. Now, from 10th October 2024 to 15th January 2025, in this mean period, you are not pay the tax because your CA not pay the tax. Some got confusion, not pay the tax. Okay, the department asks you to pay the tax for the mean period. Somebody, let us say some other professions or maybe some other registered person maybe pay the tax under RCM. This intervening period from 10th October 2024 to 15th January 2025 till the date amendment taking place. 16th January 2025 onwards amendment taking place. Till that intervening period, the law has been regularized. What do you mean by regularization? You are aware of all of you. As is, where is. What do you mean as is, where is? You are aware of it? Is also amendment which is there before these amendments. The previous amendments class I referred this. As is, where is, I will just refer to you in this example. Assume a scenario. in the given case, you being a registered person, after the composition scheme, I am an unregistered person, owner of the immovable property, given on rental basis to you. You have not paid the tax from 10th October 2024 till 16th January 2025, you have not paid the tax, which is not required to pay. You came to know from 16th January. You came to know from 16th January 25. But before that, you have not paid. Department says, we are not going to ask. We won't send any notice. Somebody says, sir, we paid under RCM, composition taxpayer, sir, under composition scheme we registered, sir, as a recipient. We paid the tax in the given case. Paid, paid. Refund varadu. No refund. That is called what? As is, where is, which is called regularization. Get my point? So, now coming to the amendment. Now only I am coming to the amendment. Supplier of service. Supplier of service. Any person who is an unregistered person. Supplier should be any person, means unregistered person. What is supplied? Nature of supply? Any immovable property other than residential dwelling. It should be any immovable property. Again I'm telling immovable property only. Ayya purinchukonge. Examiner will get confused in the examination. Mr. Raj, owner of Xerox machine worth rupees 20 lakhs, which is given on rental basis to a registered person. Registered person is paying the GST under the regular scheme, normal scheme. Supplier is unregistered person. Find the GST liability. Applicable rate of just 18%. First of all, FCM or RCM? FCM. In the case of FCM, supplier registered or unregistered? Unregistered. Not liable to be taxed. Reason, Xerox machine not an immovable property. Condition number 1, nature of supply, an immovable property other than residential dwelling. Point number 1 clear? Point number 2, supplier should be unregistered person. Point number 3, recipient should be a registered person other than composition taxpayer with effect from 16th January 2025 amendment. Suppose recipient is a composition taxpayer. Assume you are a composition taxpayer. I am a registered person. I am a registered person. As a registered person, I given the property, immovable property to you on rental basis. You are a registered person after the composition scheme. FCM or RCM? FCM. This fellow registered person, not liable to pay GST. If this supplier is a registered person, liable to pay GST. By whom? Supplier liable to pay GST. Manisle? Puridamma na solradhu? Adhamadha sir? Fine. Can I have problem on it? One problem. Example here. Example. நீங்க கரெக்டா சொல்ல வேண்டும் எனக்கு இது. நல்லா கேளுங்க, கவனிச்சு கேளுங்க. Services of renting of immovable property other than residential dwelling by an unregistered person to a registered person, not under composition, not under composition. Tax to be paid by the recipient under RCM. Scenario: landlord, supplier, Ramachandran. Who is Ramachandran? Unregistered person, individual. Recipient, Access Solutions, registered person Tamil Nadu, not under composition scheme. Property type, commercial office premises. Monthly rent 1,20,000. Lease started from 1st February 2025. The amendment came from 16th January 2025. GST 18%. Now you tell me, FCM or RCM? RCM. Who liable to pay GST? Access Solutions liable to pay. GST on 1,20,000 18%. How much comes here? That is the GST. How much? 21,600 pay the GST under RCM. Suppose I am testing because I am an examiner. I will test. I'll put here like this. Carefully parangaya. Recipient under composition scheme. Adana meaning அது clear ஆச்சு ராஜா. இது இல்லை, இது இல்லை, என்ன இல்லை, இது கிடையாது, அது இல்லை. இப்போ பாருங்க, recipient registered person under composition. Supplier now it is from 16th January 2025. FCM or RCM? FCM. If FCM means supplier able to pay GST. If the supplier is a registered person liable to pay. Understand? Not able to. No one liable to pay GST in the given case. I will put like this finger because of the screen is this side. Because if I put means automatically is going other way around. So I will put like this. All indirect. I will show like this. You are listening like this. Oh, it is clear now? Fine. Now come back. With this, inward material, our issued material, the charging of GST, chapter over. Over. I clap it. Clap such a manner that other people come and look at what is going on inside. Ama, clap panna tappille. Therapy, no? Nalla therapy. Yes, come back. Referring to you now, my dear sir. Place of supply. Yeah. Place of supply. Where masters are not. Place of supply. அப்படி பார்த்துக்கலாம். Now, straight away I am entering into this particular provision. Section 12 of IGST. Section 12 of IGST, where we have 14 subsections. I said or not? Section 12, subsection 1, 2, section 12, subsection 14. If a provision or a supply not covered, section 12, subsection 3, to section 12, subsection 14, by default falls under where? Section 12, subsection 2. What is the provision of section 12, subsection 2? In the case of supply of services, place of supply is, if the recipient is a registered person, the place of the recipient is the place of supply. If the recipient is an uninsured person, the address of the recipient available with the location of the supplier, then the address of the recipient is the place of supply. Sir, address of the recipient is not available, sir. Are you sure? Yes, sir. அப்ப யாருக்கு நீ கொடுத்தா? யாரோ ஒருத்தர், a person going on the road to whom I provide services, sir. Who is here? Do not know, sir. Are you sure? Yes, sir. Recipient address not available, sir. At least from where the recipient belongs, which state, state code, தெரியாது, sir. மூஞ்சிய பார்க்காம service pay பண்ண, sir. I have not saw the face. I given service, it took, sir, a payment given, sir. Amount got credit in the bank account, sir. அப்படியா? In that case, place of supply, location of supply is clear. Here, my dear professional students, you should elevate your standard. Place of supply is a deciding factor whether I am liable to pay CGST, HGST or IGST. Correct, Amma? Listen, all of you. Supplier, for example, I am giving a background study. I am making the noise for the provision. Music, understand first. I am Mr. C of Chennai. You are from E of Ernakulam. I provide these services to you. I process to you. What type of service I provided? Assume a scenario, I provide these services of supply of, let us say, OIDR services. Ennappa? OIDR services. Means what? Mr. C is a faculty in indirect taxes. His classes are available in the cloud. You make the payment, we'll provide the access. Anytime we can access through cloud. Is clear? OIDR, Online Information Database Access or Retrieval Services. Is clear, Baba? Now, what I said, okay, I provide to a student, his address sender not captured, payment only came. Then what I did is, location of supplier is a pay supply. You get my point? I provide through online, sir. You made the payment. But in my books, I have not recorded the recipient address. In my books, I have not recorded the state code of the recipient. Who is the recipient here? CS student. Registered, unregistered, unregistered. Therefore, I have not given importance. Then what happened here? As a C of Chennai, I made it a supply. Place of supply is location of supplier. Correct? Location of supplier in Tamil Nadu. Place of supply also Tamil Nadu. It become intra-state supply. Correct, Baba? If it become intra-state supply, CGST, HGST attract. CGST revenue of a central government, SGST revenue of the state government. State government very happy. The Ernakulam, this Kerala government, raising the one voice. GST is what type of tax? Consumption based destination tax. Correct? When I provide these services, who got consumed? E of Ernakulam. Correct, sir? E of Ernakulam got consumed. Revenue should go to where? State government of Kerala. But now here revenue got to whom? State government of Tamil Nadu. It is not a fair trade practice or not? It is not a fair trade practice. Therefore, the government said no. If you provide these services, look here. If you provide these services, what type of services? E-commerce operating services. E-commerce operator, you know? What are e-commerce operators? Amazon, Flipkart. A supplier supplied his services through e-commerce platform. You get my point, sir? Or otherwise, a supply of goods through e-commerce platform. Or second point, online money gaming. Online gaming, not money gaming. Online gaming, not online money gaming. Online money gaming means supply of goods. I am talking about supply of service, no. Online gaming. Third category, OIDR. Online Information Database Access Retrieval Services. E-commerce operating services. Point number 1. Point number 2. The online gaming services. Point number 3. The OIDR services. You know OIDR services, Online Information Database Access Retrieval, which includes OTT platforms, you know. OTT, ma? You famous nowadays. OTT platforms. Not only that, your mobile applications are there, no? Mobile application softwares. Software providers, mobile applications. These services, all routing through online only. Internet. These service providers should mandatorily issue tax invoice as per rule number 46 clause F. Rule number 46 clause F. By mentioning the invoice, the address of the recipient, if not, at least mention the state code of the recipient. State code, no pin code. The pin code of the recipient must be there, without which you should not issue the invoice. But rule number 46 says that invoice not required to issue if the supply made to uninsured person, where the value of supply not exceed rupees 50,000. Value of supply not exceed 50,000. Supply made to uninsured person, not required to issue invoice by mentioning address of the recipient. unless the recipient asks for it. That law has to be not got amended. No, we are amending that provision. Reason, in the given case, C of Chennai supplied through online OIDR services to E of Ernakulam. The E of Ernakulam, at least address is available or pin code is available, is what type of supply? Interstate supply. Because C of Chennai in Tamil Nadu, supplier, the recipient in Ernakulam, place of supply goes to Ernakulam only, na? As per section 12.2, 12.2 of IGST, place of supply is equal to location of the recipient address available with the supplier. At least the pin code is available. The pin code of the recipient is available with the supplier. The pin code deemed to be the recipient address. As a result, I will charge what? IGST. Now, IGST levied and administered by whom? IGST will be levied and administered by dash. Central government. Is not revenue of the central government of India. It should be apportioned between the central and state. Central will get 50%, state will get 50%. Which state will get the revenue? The state in which the service got consumed. Where the got service consumed? Because the recipient is uninsured person. Got consumed. So the government of India, central government will levy the IGST, collect the IGST, apportion the IGST between the central and state of Kerala. So revenue has been gone correctly? Yes or no? So for this, amendments has been taken place here. Section 12, subsection 2 of IGST says, place of supply is equal to location of the recipient. If the recipient is a registered person. If a registered person, address of the recipient or the pin code of the recipient is the place of supply. If that is also not available, then only location of supplier. Now, location of supplier cannot be considered as a place of supply if I supply made three type of nature. What are they? Three type of supplies. What are they? What are they? I'm asking. OIDR. Next, online money, online gaming, online services, online money gaming, supply of any online digital platforms. But section 12.2 always refers services. Therefore, I refer to you the applications, mobile applications, services are provided through that. In that case, for all these services, the recipient is an uninsured person, supplier is obviously registered person, supplier should record the recipient address in the invoice. If not, pin code of the recipient will be recorded in the invoice, must, irrespective of the value of invoice. Now, example. I want to bring to notice example here. Example for this. Whatever I said to you, I am now bringing notice simplified manner. Look at understand place of supply chapter. In the case of place of supply chapter, lunch break Sulunga Raja, we will continue after lunch break also. Yeah, we have, because we start 1 hour late, na. Rafi sir half an hour late, arrangement half an hour late. They told me, you please continue even after lunch break also, sir. I will continue because amendment is very important, Raja. Exam point of view, from our class, out of 50 marks, you can expect minimum 20 marks easily. Guarantee. Naan ready. Ning ready? Okay, fine. Now listen. Amendment is basically bringing what? A two spirit of apportionment of GST. This clear? Service rendered. These three nature. What are the natures of three? Online, money gaming, OIDR, online services, own or third party digital platform. I own my own or some third party, as the case may be. when I supply services like that, service supplied, for example, supply of service through online, supplier should be as per rule number 46, clause F, irrespective of the value, should be mentioned recipient address in the invoice. Is it clear, Ababa? If there's a case, example, I am going to bring example, you answer it. Example, Media Net Digital Services Private Limited registered in Maharashtra, provide online subscription based OTT services, monthly entertainment content via own digital platform. Very good. Recipient Priya Sharma, 100% from Karnataka. B2C. Through what? Online. Supplied type of service, OTT subscription. Netflix is there. Subscribe no. Netflix wala supplier. We are the initial persons. Service provided January 1st to 31st January. Invoice issued 1st of January. Service value only 500. Only 500. In spite of that, B2C, irrespective of the value, invoice should be issued by mentioning dash the address of the recipient. Rate of GST 18%. Now, where this Sharma is available? Priya Sharma, Karnataka. Supplier Maharashtra. Resulting what? It is interstate supply. What should be levied? IGST should be levied. Correct, Amma? IGST should be levied. Is clear? But NIHA, incorrectly, we are following so far. Department noticed it. They are charging CGST and SGST by not mentioning in the invoice the recipient address. By default, supplier location is per supply as per 12.2 of IGST. Then it goes revenue to the state of where? Maharashtra. It is not Maharashtra state government revenue. It should be Karnataka revenue. Why? The Priya Sharma end user is located in Karnataka. Clear? Therefore, correct treatment. Post circular. This circular number is available in your material. Post circular. Supplier state Maharashtra. Recipient state Karnataka. Record in the invoice must be recorded. Otherwise, you are liable for punishment. Which rule? Rule number? Class F. Is clear? Irrespective of the value. Yes. Place of supply, Karnataka, right answer as per this IGST provision. Levied what? IGST, correct one. Correct compliances, revenue goes to Karnataka. This 90 rupees, 45 and 45, where the 45 goes to Karnataka. Purida sir, by having this amendment. Application. Place of supply to uninsured person is located in a location of recipient if address is on record. Once the supplier capture the state recipient on invoice is deemed to be address. State code. State capture state. State means Karnataka, enough. The pin code is enough. Address unavailable. Recipient Karnataka, enough. Person goes to Karnataka. Is clear, benefits? With this particular provision, explanation from our material, which provision I am referring here? Chapter place of supply completed. Amendment over. No amendment in place of supply. Further, referring furthermore, exemptions under GST. Empa, break one more. Yes or no? Quickly, fast. Yes, take it 10 minutes break. Ten minutes break.
என்ன ஃபோன் பண்ணுவீங்களா? ஓகே, ரீச் பண்ணுங்க, போயிடுங்க, வீட்டுக்கு போயிடுங்க. சரி சரி சரி, ஓகே. போயிட்டு இருக்கு, நோ ப்ராப்ளம், வீட்டுக்கு.
Yes, my dear friends, we resume the class. We continue now. Exemptions under the GST. Lot of exemptions, but here also now few more exemptions, and exemptions has been slightly changed here and there. If you refer here, from 16th January 2025 onwards, services by way of providing metering equipment on rent, testing for meters, transformers, capacitors, etc., releasing electricity connection, shifting of meters, service lines, issuing duplicate bills, etc., which are incidental or ancillary to the supply of transmission, A and deleted, or R is inserted from 16th January 2025 and replaced with ORR. Distribution of electricity provided by electricity transmission or distribution utilities to their consumers. is exempted. Sir, என்ன சார் difference and OR? You should know what do you mean by transmission, what do you mean by distribution? Both are not one and same. Can you agree with me? How they differ, I will tell you first. How they differ. Transmission or distribution, not one and same, both are different. Now look here, visible to all of you. Transmission means the heavy power cables is laid down and transmitting the power from the grid, where the power generating from the grid to the various substations. Look here, this if I say power plant to substation dash transmission, is clear? Transmission, amma, see, transmission. Is a transmission, is clear? Thereafter, from substation to consumers is called what? Distribution. Earlier, they have been drafted by misplacing the word transmission and distribution. Then only exempted question mark. You get my point? If you strictly read, there must be transmission and distribution, then only exemption. What? Laying the cable, shifting the meters. That is somewhat not digestible. Now they said, A and end is not our intention. Writing we have been dabba English, no, English dabba. Borrowed, which is our mother tongue, means we can perfectly can say, correct or not? Malayalam, Tamil, Telugu, we can say, but English, no issue. Amendment taking place. A and end deleted or are mentioned. As a result, transmission to consumers, distribution to consumers qualify for exemption. Not that a distributor should be own transmission. A person of distributor who distributing Tamil Nadu electricity board is distributing the power to commercial houses as well as residential places. The distribution of electricity exempt is clear. We have a new amendment previously, before this amendments class, the earlier amendment for the May 25 exam. What amendments? Meter laying, shifting the meter, renting the meter, shifting the cables. You get my point? All these services ancillary to this also qualify exemption. Get my point, sir? This is what I am saying here. Here, services like meter testing, duplicate bill issuing, and so on, including late payment of the electricity bill charges, all are dash exempted. Why? The main supply exempted. The main supply is exempted. Therefore, allied supplies also be exempted by having a specific role separately given here. For this type of services, electricity, renting, metering, testing, connection, and all exempted. Now the point arises here. This exemption actually granted when? From 10th October 2024 exemption given. Now from 10th October, these are exempted entry number 25A. Now here, what is the amendment taking place from 16 January 2024? A and D replaced as a OR. Transmission or distribution. Now the question arises, from 10th October 2024 to 16th January 2025, the utility, that is distribution utilities only supply the metering services. Taxable or exempted? Question mark. The law now got settled as is various basis, not taxable. If you already paid, no refund. If not paid earlier, we won't ask. It has been regularized. Already paid, no GST could pay. If already paid, no refund will be given. What is amendment? Amendment is A and end replaced as O and O or R. Transmission or distribution utilities. If anyone provided services of metering, shifting, relocating from 16th January 2025 is exempted. Before that, from 10th October 2024 also be exempted. If already paid, don't ask refund. Is it clear, sir? This is what? One exemption. Now please come back. Yes, this exemption clear now. Coming to one more exemption. Interesting there. This parya. National Skill Development Corporation, NSDC. National Skill Development Corporation. I can say simply NSDC. Now, actually, when we discuss regular manner, NSDC got amended from 10th October 2024. I will tell you legislative history. That is an interesting story for you to make you understand. NSDC. இது பாருமா இங்க எல்லாரும் கேளுங்க. All of you should see as a professional student. CA intermediate is not lesser than the master degree. So you be careful. Expectation of initials to depth, even for 50 marks. National Skill Development Corporation is there on the screen. Is an amended provision. From 10th October 2024, they have given the following shall be incorporated to qualify exemption. Services provided by yaar? 1. National Skill Development Corporation set by the Government of India or National Council for Vocational Education Training or awarding body recognized by the National Council for Vocational Education Training or an assessment agency recognized by the National Council for Vocational Training or Education. Point number E. A training body accredited with a awarding body which that is a recognized National Council for Vocational Training in relation to national skill development related activities. Now, this itself is amendment from 10th October 2024. While amending this amendment, there was a old provision was there. Before that also provision was there. That time, after A, B, C, D, E, one more point is there. What a point number F. Training partner was there. When they amended this provision from 10th October 2024, they misplaced the training part. அப்போ ட்ரைனிங் பட்டு கத்துறாரு, நான் ஜிஎஸ்டி கட்டணுமா? I am a training factor. I have been affiliated with NSDC. I am providing the vocational training courses. Authorized person, authorized by NSDC. I am a training partner associated with the NSDC. The exemption not there. Which is misplaced. Ayo, wait. We are going to be bring that point also. Now incorporated from 16th January 25. After point number E, the added what is the point number F? Training partner, which is associated with the NSDC, affiliated with the NSDC, also qualify from exemption. When incorporated from 16th January 2025. This amendment made when? From 10th January or 10th October 2024. Before 10th October 2024, it was there. Training partner exemption is clearer now. Now amendment, referring the amendment. F is added. A training partner approved by the National Skill Development Corporation also qualify from exemption if it is associated, affiliated with the NSDC. Is clear, brother? We have example for this. One example we have. Examples only makes perfect, amma. இந்த பாருங்க, here class F is incorporated from this date 16th October nande incorporated. Now one example. இங்க பாருங்க, example. Lend for jobs is NSDC approved partner. Who supplier? Lend for jobs. Provide skill training from 12th October to 10th January 2025. Charges 10 lakhs. GST not applicable. No GST collected based on the earlier exemption understanding. Now this particular amendment came from which period onwards? So from 10th October 2024 to this particular 10th January 2025, they have not charged the GST because they got impression the exemption already was there, no, before 10th October 2024. That is unde. That's what the impression. On 10th October 2024, they made amendment by omitting partner, training partner. Is a mistake. Now the client lend for job is asking, am I liable to pay GST? Department will send the notice to me. Department, do not send the notice. That matter, the intervening period from 10th October 2024 to 16th January 2025, tax not collected, not required to pay. But tappi taviri nee kattirundal, by mistakenly if you have paid the tax honestly, don't ask for refund. The matter is settled as is, where is basis. So what is we understanding from this as a chartered accountant? Hey mister, when you are perfect, your client is good, gentleman, payment of taxes, do not rush and pay, coolly pay, is the point we are learning. If already paid, not, don't ask. Miss Perchili. So you have to be safe to your client also, because of, but the thing should be a proper bona fide transaction. The transaction genuine transaction, not evasion of tax transaction. There as is, where is not applicable. You are aware of it. I told you in the class. Now please come back. Furthermore exemptions from our institute material. New exemption notification given here. New exemption. இது இப்போதான் இருந்தப்பா. From 16 January 25, I have not referred at any platform so far. For the first time referring this for you people. New amendment applicable for September 25 exam onwards. What is it is? I will read. I will explain with the help of numeric example. Services of insurance provided by motor vehicle accident fund constituted under section 164B of the Motor Vehicle Act 1988 against considerations made by insurers out of the premium collected by third party insurance of motor vehicle. உங்களுக்கு தெரியுமா, what do you mean by third party insurance? I will tell you, a brief to you. Carefully you have to listen. Third party insurance I'm talking. I purchased the vehicle four-wheeler purchase. I should pay premium, not general premium. So I am going to pay the premium to National Insurance Premium Company. They are charging rupees 4,000 premium. What is the premium? If the damage happened to the vehicle, we can claim the insurance compensation. The 4,000, apart from that, they are charging, let us say, 10% of 4,000, 400 extra. 400 extra what they are charging is third party insurance. I asked, and the owner vehicle, sir, I will pay insurance premium. Why should I pay third party insurance premium? My insurance company, National Insurance Company said, hey, Mr. Rafi, you are riding the vehicle, very good. While riding, if you hit any person who got injured, for him, compensation should pay or not? So, that compensation is called third party insurance. Get me what? Mr. Rafi, while riding the car, hit a person falling down. There is small injury in the knee. Then he himself took him and admitted in the hospital because mistake of Mr. Rafi, and admitted in the hospital and safeguard the life. Everything is okay. Small injury, there is a insurance required or not for him. It is rupees 10,000 rupees. Who will pay? The person who got injured is a ordinary person, not able to afford. Then I have to incur the money. From where I can incur? I can ask for my insurance company, sir. I hit a person, sir, who got injury in the knee and small injury only. The rupees 10,000 expenditure, sir. Then that person will get that money is called as a third party insurance. Now, insurance company called insurer. Insurance company called what? Insurer. Mr. Rafi is called what? Insured. Insured. Insurer and insured. That premium rupees 4,400 paid to insurer, attach GST. No exemption. Attach the GST in the hands of insured. Is clear? Now, out of the 4,400, 400 belongs to third party insurance premium. That is going to be paid by insurer. Who is insurer? National Insurance Company. To this particular motor vehicle accident fund. Now, motor vehicle accident fund getting the payment of rupees 400. Get my point? Got the clarity what I am saying? There are four parties I brought. Mr. Rafi, insurer. In National Insurance Company, insured. A person who got injured on the road because of Rafi driving. Got a person, got injured, little bit injury taking place. Is third party. And finally, this particular motor vehicle accident fund. Now, insurer, National Insurance Company, out of the premium of 400, 400 paying to accident fund. Paying to accident fund. You get my point, sir? Who is supplier here? Accident fund is supplier. Recipient, National Insurance Company. How much paid? 400. That consideration exempted in the hands of a national, this particular motor vehicle accident fund hands. Don't worry. If you are able to listen, I will give with the example. I will be with the example here. Yes. Yes. Direct example, Baba. Any doubt, ask me. After listening the example, all of you have the calculator with you. Now, listen all of you. Safe Drive Insurance Limited sells third-party insurance policies for cars. Premium charged to policy holder 4,000. Add the GST 18% on insurance premium 720. Total premium collected from policyholder 4,720. Contribution to motor vehicle accident fund out of rupees 4,000 is how much? 100. Now this is taxable supply. This one I want to ask you, who is supplier, who is recipient? Motor vehicle accident fund. Excellent, hats off to you. Who is recipient? National. In the given case, safe drive insurance. That 100 rupees qualify exempt from the payment of the GST. Understand that? This illustration is missing in our material. Otherwise, our issue material supremo for us. Get my points? Look here. Safe Drive Insurance Company contribute 100 rupees to motor vehicle accident fund. GST. 80% GST only on the premium charge rupees 4,000. But rupees 100 contribution from rupees 4,000 to MVAF motor vehicle accident fund is not supply. It is exempted from 16 January 2025. You get my point? Here, summary, no GST applicable, fine, that's it. Any difficulty, ask me doubt. One of the new exemption it is. Understand? Motor vehicle accident fund, what purpose? No, to settle third party insurance claims. Sir, I paid the premium, sir, but I have not hit any person properly with a conscious manner driving. But the amount carried to the fund or not, which is exempted. Compensation given, absolutely not taxable because action to claim. If the compensation given, for example, motor vehicle accident fund given compensation rupees 10,000 to the injured person, taxable? That is not taxable even corporate company hands also. You are not loss of stock. Hey, Mr. Accountant, loss of stock, average class, you applied, claim the compensation. Who supplier? The person who lost the stock. Who is the recipient? Insurance company. Taxable? Compensation given by the insurance company to the policy holder, loss of stock, taxable? No, my dear. Is it? It is not a supply. Supply excludes actionable claim. One of the example, insurance claims. Is clear, sir? Now please come back. Furthermore, new definitions. Insurer means we explain what is that. This is not relevant for us examination point of view because I said no insurer. Who is insurer? Insurance company. Who is insurance company? They give a list. That is not applicable for exam point of view. Is clear? Ibu pare on the screen. MCD, Municipal Corporation of Delhi. You are aware of that? Supplier of service. Any person, business entity, supply to government, supply to local authority, covering under Article 243G or covering under Article 243W of the Constitution of India. Dash type of supply. Exempted supply. Is clear? You are getting my point? Sir, I am a builder, sir. My name is DLF. I am constructing a road for whom? BMC, Bombay Municipal Corporation, for example. construction of a road, public welfare activity or not? Which will come under the article 243G or article 243W. Therefore, my supply qualify from exemption. We discussed it. Now, in the given case, Municipal Corporation of Delhi, undoubtedly local authority. Local includes municipality. I provide these services. What type of service I provided to Municipal Corporation of Delhi means inside cleaning services, gardening services, beautiful garden. I will show you that also. That is best way to present. MCD. Look here. See, this is MCD. Where I am providing gardening. See, gardening. So much of gardening. Gardening services, cleaning services, maintenance services. I raise the bill for rupees. Housekeeping 2 lakhs, gardening 1 lakh, civil maintenance. You know civil maintenance? Huh? Building maintenance, civil structure maintenance, civil maintenance. Crack vandirukku, crack, pasting, roof leaking, arresting, patch up work. So this entire I am charging how much? Almost all 4,50,000 to municipal corporation. Now doubt came. Who am I? My name is Urban Care Private Limited. Am I liable to pay GST? I provide these services to whom? Local authority. Exempt, no? Am I exempt or not? Question mark. Clarification given by CBSE. Exemption engendu varum unakku? Where is exemption for you? What type of service you provided? Tell me. Housekeeping, cleaning, broomstick, mop போடுறது. Thereafter gardening, நல்ல பூ, ரோஸ் பூ வைக்கிறது. அப்புறமேட்டுக்கு civil maintenance. These and all covered under article 243W. Tell me, is there or not there? Therefore, these supplies will attract GST. Clarification given by CBSE, definitely going to come in the examination. This is not only Municipal Corporation of Delhi, it is also Greater Chennai Corporation. Not only Greater Chennai Corporation, it is also BMC, Bombay Municipal Corporation. You get my point? It is not only BMC or DMC or GCC. Even it is provided to Secretariat of Tamil Nadu. You know, Secretariat Tamil Nadu. Supply of such government. State, so what? Is it covered in Article 243G or W? No. Therefore, hey supplier, you liable to pay GST. 18% will apply by default rate. Purida sir. Shall I proceed? Purida Raja. Doubt kelungo. Don't get stuck. This question will ask the examination in different manner. Greater Chennai Corporation received the following services. 1 or 2 exemption, 2 or 3 taxable. You have to identify exemption separately, taxable separately. Kandipa question varapodhu parunga. If I am not wrong, you can able to view in the examination by referring the question paper. Rafi sir told in the class, came in the exam. You will say that much important. Is clear, Baba? Further. Now further, sir, I am strictly following our institute material. CA Institute, paper number 3B, amendments applicable for the September 25 exam. Is clear? Point number 2 clear? Thereafter. And the exemptions. That's all. Point number 2 points are given in the exemption. 1 and 2. 1 has some of the points. Very good. So, exemptions completed for your batch. Is clear? Is clear? Further, next chapter. Input task created. Lead. Very simple, amma. I will give the background. You will understand the provision. Time acha? Lunch ke? 10 minutes irkilla. You want a break or you want to continue? Continue. Very important, amma idu. See, after the lunch break, again assembling and disturbing instead of that, if you permit with your willingness, sorry, instead of 1 o'clock, by 1:30 you complete the class, means I will complete. Okay? है ना? एम्पा प्रिंट पर वाइट शर्ट है क्या भाई? हाँ बोलना पड़ेगा ना आप पे, वही ना मेरे को मोटिवेशन लगेगा. Your smile is motivation. Yes or no? Yes. My real reward is your appreciation, amma. Money will come and go, but your appreciation will stand forever. Now listen, my dear friends. Input task create chapter, what amendment? Mind blowing amendment, which is easy to understand. No difficulty. No difficulty. As per section 16, subsection 2, clause A, clause B, we are aware of that. There must be possession of tax invoice to avail the ITC. For availing ITC, what is required? Possession of tax invoice. Clause B of section 16(2) says what? Receipt of goods or services. For availing ITC, one of the conditions is receipt of the goods services. Is clear? This and all there. Don't worry. Not required read. I will make you understand. This and all I am not making you understand. This and all I will make you understand. Don't worry. Straight away come here. Straight away come here. Now is clear? Sir, there is a terminology called as X works contract. Speak out. X works contract. EXX WORK. Yes. X works contract is agreement. What is this agreement? X works contract. In a simple terminology to say, it is nothing but X factory price. X factory price. What is X factory price? The price prevailed the factory get for the seller, offering to the buyer. You know, when you go and purchase a cloth from the showroom and all, which is rupees almost 2,000 rupees. If you go to the factory outlet, the same quality of shirt, hardly 1,100, 1,200. That's why people offer. The factory layout, factory prices means the price that the factory get will be offering by the seller. Meaning what? You purchase the goods at the factory gate of the supplier. You are the owner of the goods, correct? You are Mr. Ram. I am Mr. Vaibhav. Vaibhav and company manufacturing t-shirts, wearing apparels. You came to factory to purchase 5 t-shirts. I offer to you. Each shirt how much, sir? 1,000 rupees only, sir. But it is in the market 1,500, sir. I offer for rupees 1,000. Factory, no? Factory price always lesser than the market price. So 5 shirts, 5 rupees you paid and purchase. Where you purchase, Baba? At a factory gate. 5 rupees, 5 rupees. Now who is the owner of the goods? You are the owner of the buyer. Buyer will carry the goods on the shoulder and come into the house, correct? Sale taken place where? At the factory gate or at the house? Factory gate. Such a sale takes place having an agreement between the seller and buyer. We call what? A X works contract. Simple to say X factory price. Now Generally, where you come across this type of a terminology means very often we used to hear this in motor vehicles manufacturing. Motor vehicles manufacturing. Listen, my dear. Honda company is a manufacturer of vehicles, sir. Honda company is a dealer. He won't manufacture, Baba. You know that or not? He outsources. He has specifications. Empa, manufacturer, I want all the specifications. The engine, thereafter the seating, everything. You manufacture, you assemble and give to me. I will simply attach what? My name of Honda. And I will sell. It's happening generally. The manufacturer who are manufacturing for Honda company will manufacture equipments only for Honda company. And on each and every part of the manufacturing part, he will mention the Honda brand. Who mentions a manufacturer? Who manufactures for whom? For Honda company. Such a manufacturer who manufactures for a branded company, we call the manufacturer OEM, original equipment manufacturer. Speak out. Original equipment manufacturer. Such a original equipment manufacturer manufactures the product for dealer, Honda company, and made available to take that goods from the factory. Is agreement. Is an agreement. That means, hey Mr. OEM, I will come to your factory, I will purchase the vehicles and I will carry to my place for selling. Okay, sir. Agreement between the OEM and the dealer, or dealer you can say. Dealer means buying and selling the goods. Is what type of agreement it is? X agreement or contract. How can you say? The dealer going to the factory premises and buying it at a factory price. After the factory gate, from the place of the factory to the place of the dealer, insurance, transportation, all belongs to dealer. And the invoice copy issued by the manufacturer OEM in the name of the dealer at the time of removing the goods from the factory. So the ownership shifted on the goods from the original manufacturer, original equipment manufacturer, to the dealer. At which place? At the place of factory, where he issued invoice, hand over the vehicles, and the dealer loading that goods in the vehicle and bring to the dealer place. From the factory to the dealer place, transportation. From the factory to the dealer place, the insurance. Who is going to bear it? Dealer. Such a transportation cost, such an insurance cost should not be form part of the value of supply in the hands of original equipment manufacturer. You get my point? But X factory price, man, agreement is that X works contract agreement. Is clear? Now, no dispute with the valuation, but if you refer the vehicle ready, this vehicle ready is a product ready on 1st February 2025, for example. This vehicle invoice issued on 1st February 2025. Load the goods in the vehicle. This is a vehicle. This is called goods. Vehicles are goods. Load in the vehicle. Vehicles load in the vehicle. Goods load in the vehicle. And invoice issued when, Amma? Invoice issued 1st February 2025. Goods loaded on the same date. Dispatch. From the factory to the dealer place. Transportation. Who is arranged? OEM wala. But who paying? Dealer is paying. See, I am sitting in my office in the dealer. Here I am sitting. I call over phone. Yeah, you please load the goods in the truck and send to me. I will pay the transportation. OEM wala said, don't worry, you please be there. Going and give the orders to me. I will load the goods into vehicle and transport to you. Transport charges is so much you pay. Is clear? So that OEM wala original manufacture the vehicle and load the vehicle in the truck and sending. Transportation going to pay by dealer. Insurance for transit insurance. Premium. Who will pay? Dealer. Because ownership shifted from the factory to dealer and the factory gate itself. Is clear? Now the goods reached to the place of the buyer, dealer. Goods reached means vehicles reached on 1st March 2025. Physical goods came when? 1st March. Goods dispatched when from the factory? 1st February. Invoice issued 1st February. Ownership transferred 1st February. Now, section 16, subsection 2, class B says that, hey, Mr. Recipient, being a registered person, you eligible to avail the ITC only when the goods received by you. The goods received by you. When is the goods? 1st March. When the dispatch, the ownership has been transferred when? February 2025 itself. 1st February. Now, dealer got doubt. Am I eligible to avail the ITC in the month of February itself or only after receipt of the goods into my factory? Is a doubt. He called over phone to you. You are his CA. You have to reply. In your case, we have a concept called as deemed receipt of goods. Speak out. Deemed receipt of the goods. Deemed receipt of the goods nothing but in the case where X works contract agreement is there, where the ownership of the goods shifting from the seller to the buyer at the factory gate of the seller. As a result, you become the owner of the goods. When you become the owner of the goods, 1st February 2025. How can you say? You received on that day invoice. You deemed owner. As a receipt of a invoice, you become a deemed owner of the goods. As a deemed owner of the goods, you are eligible to avail the ITC in the month of February itself. Not required to wait till the goods reaches to your premises. Is a clarification. Get my point? If I bring a numeric example, able to answer correctly? Let us see how many of them are going to speak this correctly, the answer. Look here, example. I am going to bring example. கண்ணு தெரியாது நமக்கு பாருப்பா இங்க பாருங்க here transaction flow இது சொல்ல பாருங்க I will say here also dealer Speed Motors registered person in Gujarat, OEM original equipment manufacturer, Auto Market Limited original equipment manufacturer in Maharashtra, buyer Gujarat. Type of contract in X works contract. Invoice date 12th January 2025. Hand over the goods to transporter on 12th January. Physical receipt of the vehicle at dealer's showroom 17th January 2025. 17th January 2025. Here what I will do here is instead of 17th January I will mention here alone for sake of discussion. What I will mention instead of 17th January I will mention here 17th Feb for sake of discussion. நம்ம நல்ல ஒன்றும் எஃபெக்டிவ் கொண்டு வரலாம். ரிமைனிங் ஆல் கரெக்ட். ஸோ ஃபிசிக்கல் ரிசீவ் வேணும் 17th February 2025. Now total invoice value 10 lakhs, GST 20%, total 2 lakh 80,000 rupees GST. total value 12,80,000. Transport insurance arranged by OEM on behalf of dealer. That means who paying the transport insurance? Dealer paying, buyer paying. So ownership shifted at the factory gate. Now tell me, that fellow who Speed Motors, your client, Aya, my auditor, in which month I can avail ITC? In the month of January and in the month of February. January month I avail the ITC. Don't wait for the February. In the deemed receipt of the goods is amendment. This is the provision apply for all type of supplies where there is X works contract exist. I referred with the help of a motor vehicle, Raja. It's a motor vehicle. There may be laptops purchased. HP wala, Hewlett Packard placed the order to buy 1,000 laptops from OEM. Original equipment manufacturer. Contract what? X works contract. If that is the case, the ownership shifting from where to where? From seller to buyer at the time of handing over the goods and issue the invoice at the factory gate of the OEM. That time itself eligible to avail the ITSC. Need not want to wait physically to receive the goods. This is what the law here said in the given case here. All type of things will apply. See, important note. This important note is important. I lifted from the issued material. Issued material is there, where it says that in the given case, it is also mentioned that thus if the goods are found have been all type of transactions here yes, the same principle, Parama, the same principle is applicable in respect of supply of other goods also, where the contract between the supplier and recipient as in a X works contract. What is X works contract? The ownership of the goods shifting from the seller to buyer at the factory gate of the seller. Such a price is called what type of price? X factory price. Is clear? Input task credit chapter. I think input is over. That much is there. Input task credit chapter completed. Yes. How much time is there? Now only 1 o'clock. Half an hour sufficient to refer the balance, because I am addressing to the students who are already aware of the subject. I am not explaining subject. I am bringing the new features added to the subject. Therefore, you understand. Otherwise, I am here only. After completion class, I will explain, clarify it, and I have given my number also to all of you. I will give to this class also. You are most welcome to ask the doubt. Tax invoice, credit note, debit note chapter is mind blowing. You have to be understand, because here time of supply also is there. Time of supply. Here if you refer, sir, time limit to issue invoice, tax invoice, specified in cases where the recipient is required to issue invoice. இப்போ ஒன்னு சொல்லுமா எனக்கு போதும் ரஜனிங்க. Recipient when required to issue invoice, first of all it should be a reverse charge இருக்கணும். Point number 1. And the supply between C to B, meaning what? Supplier unregistered person, supply to registered person. Get my point? Supplier is a unregistered person, recipient is a registered person, the supplement RCM. Levy of GST, RCM. One example, just to refer na. Renting of any movable property other than residential dwelling by unregistered person இருக்கணும் supplier to recipient who is registered person other than composition taxpayer who liable to pay GST? RCM. Who liable to pay GST? RCM. Recipient. If the recipient liable to pay GST, there must be document. Document is not there because supplier is a registered person. Supplier cannot issue tax invoice. He will issue only a 2 paper, which is not a tax invoice. Get my point? In that case, hey Mr. Recipient, is obligation on you. As per rule number 47, capital A, registered person, you should compulsorily issue the invoice. Within what time period? Time period prescribed now. Within 30 days from the date of receipt of the goods or services. Speak out. Within 30 days from the date of receipt of the goods or services. Who should issue the invoice? Recipient. If so, you are goodbye. You have been fulfilled the compliances as per section 31, subsection 3, clause F. Issue of invoice by recipient fulfilled. Is clear? Then rule number 47A, what to refer? Rule number 47A says the time period to issue the invoice. Time period is 30 days. Within 30 days. Within 30 days. Invoice should be issued within 30 days. Puridamma? From the date of receipt of services or goods should be issued. Is clear? Now, my point here is, what is the time of supply for the recipient under RCM? You know, supply of goods. RCM not in our syllabus. You are aware of that? Unga CA intermediate September 2025 issued very clearly syllabus exclusions. I have sent that material to the Jayanti madam by, is there na? Is there. She is perfect. We should be perfect, no? Then there, supply of goods, RCM apply, not in the syllabus. Supply of goods, RCM apply, not in the syllabus. Hey, Mr. CA student intermediate, said by CA Institute. Supply of goods, RCM apply, not in the syllabus. Okay. Appo, time of supply not required to refer. Is clear? There no, the material is there. Section 9.3. Supply of goods covered under 9.3. Not in syllabus. Now please come back. I am now going to concentrate this amendment. Supply of services RCM apply. Supply of services RCM apply. Can you tell me what is the time of supply for supply of services RCM apply? Time of supply, section 13, subsection 3 of the CGST Act. Date of payment or the first day that occurs after expiry of 60 days from the date of issue of invoice by supplier. When the supplier will issue invoice, if the supplier is a registered person, supplier is a registered person, supply under RCM, recipient liable to pay GST. Supplier is a registered person, B2B RCM apply, who has to issue invoice? Supplier only. That time, section 31, section 3, clause F not apply. Reason? Supplier issue invoice. If the supplier of service unregistered person, recipient of service registered person, and the supply covered under RCM, who has to issue invoice? Recipient. If the recipient is liable to issue invoice, time limit, rule number 47A, 30 days from the date of receipt of service. Is clear? In that case, what is the time of supply for the recipient? I am telling you, date of payment or date of issue of invoice, that's all. 60 days and won't come. Repeating with the presentation. With the presentation, my dear sir, I have not changed anything. My system, only the amendments only I update. This slide with which are you familiarized in the regular class of mine? Reverse charge. This material is available, but this one and this one only was there. Now here point number C separately added here. What is the time of supply in the case of RCM apply? If a B2B transaction, who will issue the invoice? A supplier. Recipient liable to pay GST. Date of payment. Date of payment means that of book entry or bank entry which is earlier. That you compare with the first day that occurs after expiry of 60 days from the date of issue of invoice by supplier. Is clear, Raja? If C2B, supplier is an registered person, recipient is a registered person, which is under RCM. Recipient liable to pay GST. Not only is recipient liable to pay GST, recipient is liable to issue invoice. In that case, time of supply for the recipient is date of payment or date of issue of invoice by the recipient, whichever is earlier. Is a time of supply. Questions are going to come in this case. After completion of my classes, please take the recorded class and have it with the people. Whenever you get doubt, open this. Forward, previous or forward, as you like manner. Is clear, sir? Now please come back. This point I have not said in regular class. I am now adding this because 1st November 2024 this amendment, which is applicable for our September 25 exam onwards. Now please come back. Here we cleared tax invoice chapter was almost all. So tax invoice chapter over. Is clear? I am showing your Institute CA Inter paper number 3B section B GST only amendments I am referring for applicable for September 25. Again I am telling you these amendments well applicable for the Jan 26 exam goer also. By the time some more amendments. In addition to this, coming to the topic further, e-way bill. E-way bill. You know e-way bill? Can you recapture e-way bill concept quickly, fastly? E-way bill is required for transport of goods, interstate level, where the value exceeds rupees 50,000. Excellent. Which includes of GST, exclusive of GST? Which is inclusive, how to see, or exclusive, how to see? Which inclusive, how to see, is only the phenomena. In all cases, GST exclusive, Baba. Suppose value of the goods 48,000. How much? 48,000. GST 12%. 48,000 plus 12%. Together how much value? 50,000? 53,760? 60. 53,760, which is more than 50,000. Therefore, e-way bill mandatory. Unless e-way bill not required cases. You know, e-way bill not required cases, you are aware of that not? Exempt supply, e-way bill not required. Or household articles, postal mail bags, currency value, which is not a money. That's the exceptions. LPG gas, that are the exemptions. Now come back. Can, as an unregistered person, this amendment is what no? Can an unregistered person generate e-way bill? I am an unregistered person GST law. Can I eligible to generate the e-way bill? Because I want to supply the goods. Sir, I am an unregistered person, e-way bill mandatory. When means? Especially handicraft goods which are exempted from payment of GST. Therefore, exempted from registration. That goods, if I supply to other state, interstate level of supply of goods which is handicapped groups, handicraft goods exempt from GST. I am supplying interstate outward supply irrespective of the value. What is required? E-way bill. One more point is there. Principal supplying the goods, the job worker. Interstate supply of goods under job work basis irrespective of the value of the goods. E-way bill mandatory. Is clear? Now my point here is this amendment belongs to, can unregistered person generate the e-way bill? Yes. How? Simple. There is a form now uploaded from 1st November 2024 onwards. Which form means here the form EWB. See, there is a form. EWB form. Form GST ENR. Form GST ENR 03 is an application. What for? To get enrollment number. What for? Having the enrollment number, unregistered person can generate e-way bill. That means an unregistered person, a particular unregistered person can generate the e-way bill. Yes, with a condition. Having enrollment number. To get an enrollment number from the GST department, there must be an application. Form GST ENR 03. Apply. What information available there now? I will tell you. You want to show that one also, I will show you. If you want. If it is visible here, I will show. Enama? Is visible. Visible Parama Raja? Visible? What is there? Heading A. Application for enrollment of URP. Unregistered person for ENR 03. Application for the want of enrollment number. Unique number. Having that number, you can generate e-way bill in the e-way bill portal. What information required? Your name, your address, your place of business, nature of business, mandatorily your PAN number, email, followed by the registered mobile number. You get a OTP for it, authenticate it, sufficient. No need of any Aadhaar. Aadhaar not required here. Only PAN number sufficient. The parent. Email is there. PAN number is here, no? PAN number. Red dot. Red dot means mandatory. You are aware of that. By filling the application. Exam application. Mandatory. So type of enrollment. OTP will get. And after having enrollment number. Exam application sonna. Applications na solle. Even writing the exam means you have to qualify. That's all. I bless it. It should be like that. All of you qualified as strength for me, na? My students qualified, I will say. Then here. Now, yes, sir. All of I will clap for you. I will stand and clap once you come with the result. Now listen, my dear friends. E-way bill. Here, unregistered person, especially handicapped goods supplier exempted who supplied interstate level irrespective of the value of the goods, the e-way bill mandatory in that case, or any unregistered person who generated the e-way bill should get what? Enrollment number by applying dash ENR 03. That's all. With this, e-way bill chapter is completed. Yes, this is completed. I am going sequential order, Amma. Payment of tax, I think, is the last chapter. One more is there, written is there. Simple. Two only are there. Payment of tax chapter and return chapter. Very simple. இது என்ன சொல்றது நான் திருமா already covered. Rule number 88, capital B, sub number 1, read with section 50, subsection 1. Interest for delay payment. Interest for delay payment, amma. Interest for delay payment. Why delay payment? Delay filing of return. Why delay filing of return? I am so busy. Preparation. Listen, I am so busy, therefore I forget to file. GST 3B due date for the month of this month, July. July month due date. Normal case, GST 3B da, not GST 1, 20th of August. Correct? I have not filed 20th of August. I am going to file on 20th of September. July month return, I am going to file a 20th of September, but due date is when? 20th of August. Is clear? Now in that case, delay happen. I have to pay the interest on that at the rate of 18% per annum. Correct, Baba? Now, what I did is, though I am a busy person, though my liability to pay GST is 2 lakh rupees on due date 20th of August, but 2 lakh rupees I deposited in the electronic cash ledger today itself. Today what date? 10th July 2025 deposited. How much? 2 lakh rupees liability. The liability to pay by me to department as on 20th August 2 lakh rupees. Equal amount of there in the electronic cash ledger, but only have not submitted GST 3B. Means not set up the amount. The setting of when I made September 20th. Delay happened from 21st of August to 20th of September. Almost 30 days delay happened. 31 days. Am I liable to pay interest? Amendment taking place over that. If you have sufficient balance in the electronic cash ledger as on the due date of filing the return, and that is continued till the date of filing the return, then interest not applicable. This point we already covered in the regular class. Is clear? I will have problem. I will work out. I am not going to leave it like this. Now, what is the amendment that you talk about here? Means, if I have not paid the tax, department will recover or not? For recovery of my tax, what is not paid, department will notice or not? There was section 73 notice, a case other than the fraud. In the case of fraud, 74 notice. Now, these two sections are merged into one section. From 1st November 2024 onwards, for the financial year 24-25 onwards, the notice will be issued by department only one section, section 74 capital A, even you not pay the tax for the reasons of the fraud or for reasons other than the fraud, as the case may be, only one section is the amendment. But section 74 is final syllabus. But Institute Wala mentioned that provision in the our intermediate amendment material. Apart from that, this fellow also mentioned the interest not required to pay if you are going to be pay. Are you going to be filed that return GST 3B belatedly, having sufficient balance in the electronic cash ledger as the due date of filing the return, and that continued till the date of filing the return, then not liable to pay interest. If the shortfall taken place, 2 lakh rupees liable to pay on 20th of August, but I will pay only 1 lakh 50 on 20th August for the July month due. 20th August available in the cash ledger is 1 lakh 50, liable to pay 2 lakhs. Shortfall how much? 50,000 only will attract the interest from 21st of August till the date of filing the return. You get my points? Shall I bring the example? This example makes sense from the exam point of view. Look here, Amma. Very important, Raja. Directly example. The Parama, visible all of you. Okay. Tax liability for the month of July, how much? 1 lakh. Due date for the GST 3B filing, 20th of August. You are aware of that. Due date, date of tax deposit in the electronic cash registry, how much? 20th of August, they deposited. Date of filing GST 3B, 25th of August. So 5 days delay. Days of delay filing, 5 days into 20%. Now, scenario. Full tax amount deposited on due date? Yes. Since the entire tax liability, how much? 1 lakh, fully deposited on due date on 20th August. But what is not did? Filing of the GST 3B not did. From the department point of view, when I file the GST 3B, that time only the amount will be paid to department. But amount is available in electronic cash register on due date. How much liable to pay? 1 lakh. 1 lakh is there. File the return. When I file return? 25th August. How many days delay? For the 5 days, am I liable to pay interest? Not liable to pay interest. No interest is payable because my liability, how much, Raja? 1 lakh. That I deposited on due date. Due date when? 20th August. And it is continued till I file the return when? 25th of August. The amount is up. Electronic cash ledger from the due date. Sufficient balance is there. Then to that extent of balance, not able to pay any interest. So no, not able to pay. Next point. One in another case, my liability to pay 1 lakh, but I deposit on 20th August only 70,000. How much deposited? Partial amount on due date and remaining amount on 22nd. No problem, which has no impact. As the due date, how much balance is liable to pay? How much is the electronic ledger? Liable to pay 1 lakh. Available how much? 70,000. Shortfall how much? 30 is not there. That 30,000 will attract interest at the rate of 18% per annum from the due date till the date of filing the return. When file the return? 25th of August. 5 days delay happen for 5 days. On what value? On rupees 30,000. Take the calculator. 30,000 multiplied by 18% multiplied by 5 days divided by 365 days. 74 rupees round off. 50 paise above round off. Yes. Section 170 rounding figure. 50 paise above round of 1 rupee. Below 50 paise leave it. Section 170. Is clear, Amma? Any difficulty, Raja? Problem கண்டிப்பா போடுவீங்களா? கண்டிப்பா வரும் இந்த ப்ராப்ளம். Must come. Important problem. For my point of view, I say IMP. Important இது. Sir, I have paid on 22nd, sir. After due date only paid, no use. When you go to file the return, 25th. So due date 20th. And then the due date only the amount should be referred. Full amount is there, goodbye, no interest. Shortfall, that much only utter the interest. Is clear, sir? Now please come back. With this, we completed here this particular payment of tax over. The last chapter, Amma, returns under the GST. ஒரு 5 minutes முடிஞ்சிடும். பசங்க சொன்னாங்கப்பா, நான் பசங்க சொன்னா அதை சொல்லுவேன். அண்ணா கொஞ்சம் கேண்டில் சொல்லுங்க, ஸ்பெஷல் கிளாஸ் பசங்களுக்கு கொஞ்சம் ஒரு கொஞ்சம் கேண்டில் ஹெல்ப் பண்ண சொல்லுங்க. லாஸ்ட் டைம் இது சாப்பிட ஒன்றும் இல்லைங்க, சிம்பிள். யூனோ இது பாரு, அது க்ளோஸ் பண்ணி பேச முடியும், பட் ஆனால் Section 51, you have aware of that. TDS, tax deducted at source. If what's amendment taking place, I'll tell you. Listen carefully. They are required to file the return They could file the return. GSTR 7. Monthly. By 10th of the following month. Every calendar month. January to December. Which month today we are? July. July month. TDS return due date GSTR 7. When? By 10th of the August. Is clear? August month. 10th of September. Like that every month goes. Now here clarification given. Am I required to file the return GSTR 7 if in a given calendar month I have not deducted a single rupee because I have not received any purchases? Nil return amma. Am I required to file the GSTR 7 nil return or not required? Without filing I can quit. The law here says, hey Mr. TS Director, we have a sequential filing of return. You are aware of that? Sequential filing of return. Previous month, June month, return not filed. Current month, July, not possible to file. GST 1 return, previous month, not filed. Previous month, GST 3 be not able to file. Previous month, GST 1 filed, GST 3 be not filed. For the current year, current month, GST 1 cannot be filed. If I want to file the current month GST 1 return, go back to previous month, file the GST 3B and file GST 1. It's called sequential filing of return. Having that, now TS Director cannot omit without filing the return, even though there is a TDS deducted or not deducted. TDS is there to repay to department with the help of GSTR 7 return, or there is a nil amount of TDS. In spite of that nil return you should submit. It's the only amendment. GSTR 7 TDS director should submit what? Even nil return. Further. Doubt nahi kelunga. I am very happy to know. Due date is what? 10th of the succeeding calendar month. It is what? I referred rule number 88D. What is 88D? No, simple Raja. Difference between GST 2B and GST 3B. You know GST 2B? Input tax credit. GST 3B payment of tax. GST 2B credit 2 lakhs. But I avail the ITC in the GST 3B by editing the values 3 lakhs. GST 2B how much? 2 lakhs. GST 3B credit how much? 3 lakhs. You cannot avail the ITC more than what is available in the GST 2B. If you avail auto-populating a notice as per rule number 88D, hey, you please show the cost or pay the amount back to department. If you have not paid, what the department will do? Will recover by invoking 73 show cause notice for the reasons other than the fraud. For fraud, 74. Now these two should merge into one basket. Recovery takes place under 74A with effect from 1st November 2024. This section 74A is a notice for the reasons of the fraud you not paid, or you not paid for the reasons other than the fraud. As the case may be, 74A only will apply from the financial year 24-25 onwards. Then why this final syllabus intermediate is given by the examiner? Means rule number 88D is there, na? Input tax credit notice will issue when GST 2B credit lesser than the GST 3B credit availed by you. GST 2B 2 lakhs for example, GST 3B is 3 lakhs. Excess amount from where you got that credit? Give explanation or pay the amount. It is the syllabus. If you not paid that amount, department is in a position to issue what? Section 74 capital A with effect from 1st November 2024 for the financial year 24-25 financial year onwards. Is clear? Is the only amendment here taken place. That's it, my dear friends. The awaited the topic called amendments, where with the written chapter completed, fully completed. Hardly it is 25 pages, fully completed with the illustrations. The illustrations, that soft copy will be sent to the Jayanti madam. You please ask and get it. Is clear? See you. All the best for your exams. Thank you, Dwayne. Thank you. Thank you.